Are we about to witness?
Baby's first words? Let's hear them!
Oh, drowned out by the blender. Rookie move.
Oh, so sad. Audio Magic Eraser?
You kidding me?
Hi-yo!
Hello! Pixel in the clutch! Share that with Grandma!
Google Pixel 8.
Even better with Bell!
Hello, Jack Armstrong here. Bonjour! Hey, I've been a guest twice on Joe's Sports Channel. Always a great time. Tremendous people. And Joe is the best. He's an absolute rock star. So make sure you tune in and listen. And if you don't, that's your fault. You know what I say to you if you're not listening? Get that garbage out of here! Joe's Sports Channel. Good morning to all the beautiful Booney believers. It is March 11th, 2024 on this beautiful day, this Monday morning in the great city alone, London, Ontario, Canada. Folks, it is 10:50 p.m. Eastern Time, and we are moments away from bringing back on for the third time Mr. Jack Armstrong, the play-by-play announcer for the Toronto Raptors. As it says up there in that quote, get that garbage out of here. Jack Armstrong is back on the Joe Booney and the Joe Sports Channel. But for now, we have an amazing colleague, a beautiful man, a sexy guy that I see on a daily basis. He's a bruschetto, and he loves his Italian food. By the way, he is Italian. Ladies and gentlemen, from London, Ontario, Canada, my friend, my colleague, my sports co-host, Johnny B.B. Good, known as Johnny Bruschetto. Good morning.
Good morning, Joe. Glad to see you. You're looking sharp, my man. I love the purple color. We color coordinated on that to go with our Raptors.
You're looking fantastic too, man. You're looking real good. Love the glasses, love the teeth, love the backdrop. You got the old Raptors logo, NBA Eastern. My question before we call Jack, what do you expected to hear from Jack Armstrong?
You know, man, I'm just super excited. I know you've had the privilege of seeing him twice before. This will be my first, so I'm just excited. I mean, I love watching him on TV. He makes me laugh with all this shenanigans and his voiceovers. But again, just following the Raptors and the play-by-play, I just think he's a great man. And also, you know, he watches a lot of college ball, so I see him at a lot of the college. So again, with March Madness coming up, I'm interested to hear some of his insight, not only into the Toronto Raptors, but also to the March Madness that is just 1 week away.
See, when I first interviewed Jack, I was 20 years old. It was pandemic time, pandemic era, the new era of pandemic. We have to wear a mask. You know, we're in the bubble. So it was kind of awkward the beginning of the show because I wasn't expected him to come on camera. And unfortunately, StreamYards, one thing that I don't like about StreamYards, now you have to have an email or you have to log into Facebook or YouTube. And I want Jack, the previous show with my other co-host, Tino D'Antonio, but unfortunately had some technical difficulties, so he called. So today, we're not going to see him on camera, but we're going to hear him on the phone. We're going to hear that beautiful, loud Toronto Raptors, Brooklyn voice, get that garbage out of here. I'm super excited again. I'll never take this for granted for any of the Booney believers, but especially you, you know, side by side with me, sticking with me, continue on supporting me, Johnny B. Good. There's nothing better than that. So thank you very much, my colleague.
Yeah, like I said, I'm super excited. I'm a sports fan. You know, I can talk about any sports, hockey, basketball, baseball. It's an exciting time of the year as we're coming down the home stretch in basketball, hockey, and all those sports, March Madness. But this is definitely an exciting time to be a sports fan. Those times of the year, even the auto racing, lots of great going on there too.
Absolutely. We got about 6 minutes before we call Mr. Jack Armstrong, the play-by-play announcer for the Toronto Raptors. But can you please talk about lightning in a bottle for the viewers that don't know what lightning in a bottle is?
Yeah, I know that's it's a crazy name. Me and my partner David Carruthers came up with. It's as you know, David is a Canadian author. So we formed a organization or a company called Lightning in a Bottle Entertainment, which brings together yourself as a show Joe Sports Channel also brings together authors. So we have many authors, including David, Frank Davis, and Junior. We have a whole bunch of authors, and we're going to be launching the website soon. So also musicians and movies. So we cover a lot of territory in the entertainment industry, and that's what this website's designed to do, to bring yourself to the forefront, and so many great other authors, musicians, artists that we're hoping to that we can help move them and bring them to the light.
Interesting. And when is the website launched, if it's not launched yet?
Well, that's a good question. I'm working with the guys in the background. I've sent all the content and the materials, so really hoping to get that. I was hoping last week, but really hoping to get a launch this week so we can start getting some of our authors recognized and getting some sales for them moving.
Interesting. No, as the folks who don't know what that logo is, that is on the top of the right, Lightning in a Bottle Entertainment. I think this is going to be a huge company, a big business one day, step by step. I'm looking forward to being on this team, and I'm going to support you guys no matter what. It's a blessing, actually, and it's an honor to have the logo representing the Joe Sports Channel with Lightning in a Bottle. So thank you for actually letting me have that and not copyright so you can sue my ass later on in the future. I'm just kidding.
The other thing too is we're looking for sponsors for the show. So again, to help promote you and help promote local business. We're all about helping support local business. So again, if you're a local business out there and you're looking for opportunities, you can get recognized on Joe Sports Channel or on the website. We'll have to do that as well.
Sure. We are exactly 3 minutes away from calling Jack Armstrong. Looking forward to this. I think we have some great questions. I think the viewers are going to be very entertained with the show. I try to entertain you guys on a daily basis. Been doing this job since 2013. You go back to my 2013 video to the video in the 2024 century. It's a big difference. As my mom says, practice makes perfect. Be around the good people. You're around the good people, you'll have good knowledge. You have positivity. If you have a bad negativity, go with the bad negative knowledge, right?
Yeah, always positive energy brings good vibes and good people, right? So I always say that every day, surround yourself with good people, good things are going to happen. So like I said, I'm excited. Jack Armstrong's going to be, like I said, for the third time, my first time to see him. So for me, it's definitely going to be a privilege here to meet with him and some of the other guys. Again, for you, you've been kind of regular. You've been doing this for over 10 years. So, you're still a young man, and you've got all these sports celebrities and that you've had a chance to meet.
No.
Me, I'm the veteran, but I haven't met any of these guys.
Is this your first time speaking to an NBA announcer, any announcer in the pros?
Yeah, absolutely. So that's what I said. I mean, I see them. I watch them on TV all the time. So, but to actually get a chance to meet with them, and then maybe a chance if we get down to the ACC down there, and we get a chance to get down to Toronto, maybe meet them on the sidelines one of these times. Now,
We have some connections. We have Bob Rathbun, the Atlanta Hawks voice. Says, come down to Atlanta, I'll hook you up. We got a minute left, so buckle your seats in, and let's get these questions ready and going. Camera looks really good. Joe Booney's looking like a sexy pinata. Johnny B. Good's looking like a sexy pinata. And Jack Armstrong will be looking like a sexy pinata in the next 37 seconds.
Yeah, if any of the viewers have some questions, type them in the comments of the chat. Like I said, we've got some questions already preloaded, and if we have some time, we'll try to get to them.
Sure. Okay, I'm going to call him. Here we go. Let's pray he answers.
Yeah, still got a minute.
Hello.
Good morning, Jack. It's Joe Booney.
Hey, Joe, hold on one second. Let me just get my ear pod in, and
Yep.
I'll be ready to go. Hold on.
No, take your time.
Boy, quick on the draw. It was like the first ring.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you perfectly. How are you, my friend?
All right, I'm good.
It's been over a year, my friend. It's been over a year. Glad you can come back on the Joe Sports Channel.
Great. How's everything going? Okay.
Everything's good. My colleagues here, Johnny Be Good. Johnny, this is Jack. If you want to say a little hello before we start.
Yeah, Jack, super excited. I love watching you on the Raptors channel and also through the the college games. So I'm looking forward to. I know Joe's met you a few times, but I'm super excited to have a chance to chat with you today too.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you so much, and looking forward to doing this right now.
Here we go. You know, Jack, the Raptors have gone through a lot of change this season, from coaches to players. Last season, I thought Fred VanVleet was the veteran leader on the court. They've been trying to build around Scotty Barnes this season. But who would you say, Jack, has been emerging as a new leader for the Toronto Raptors this season?
Well, leadership is a tough term when you look at a younger team. Obviously, I think the central figures for the Raptors a year ago were, as you mentioned, Fred VanVleet, Pascal Siakam, OG Anunoby. Those would be the kind of the faces of the team. Obviously, all those guys are gone now, and you're kind of in a rebuild, restructure, reboot. And I would say the new faces going forward would be a Scotty Barnes, Emmanuel Quickly, R.J. Barrett, Grady Dick, guys like that. And obviously, you have the veteran presence of a Jakob Poeltl and a Kelly Olynyk, guys like that. So I don't know if I want to put the mantle of like this is the leader and everyone has to follow. I think it's more of the fact that these are the guys that are going to define whether you win or not. And unfortunately, right now for the Raptors, they got a lot of guys banged up, and that really puts you in a really difficult predicament in terms of having the chance to win every night. But nonetheless, I think there's some good young pieces in place that this offseason it's going to be critical to continue to build on that and make some good evaluations the remainder of the season of what you want to get done, and then moving forward, players that you have to pick up to make the team that much better.
Absolutely.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, I know I like Jakob Poeltl being established as the center, and Quickly and Barrett. I think those have been some good pieces. But do you think the Raptors still have a chance to make the play-in tournament coming down the home stretch?
Well, it'd be difficult right now. There's 18 games left, and they're 6 games behind the Atlanta Hawks for that last play-in spot. So they're going to have to obviously really play well down the stretch to catch the Hawks. Obviously, mathematically, it is possible. So you never know. It's going to be challenging because the difficulty of the schedule. If you look at the remaining Raptors schedule, there's quality opponents there, and those teams are fighting for playoff positioning and opportunity to be in the play and all that. So there's a lot at stake for the other side as well. So it could be a challenge, but nonetheless, the guys that they roll out there every night, it's an opportunity for them to show what they can do, and everyone's being evaluated. So I think it's an important stretch for the Raps.
Jack, I'm not a big fan of the play-in tournament. I miss the old 1-8. It's like hockey too. Now you got these 2-3 wildcard teams. I wish we could just go back to the 1-8. Simple as it is, When you have these play-in tournaments, there's teams that are under 500 making it, and there's teams that are over 500 are not making the playoffs. It confuses a lot of fans out there, and it confuses the NBA, if you understand where I'm coming from.
Well, it's interesting. I was not real enthusiastic about the play-in tournament in the past, but it has had success. It has worked, and obviously in the East, to your point, Chicago and Atlanta are in spots 9 and 10 right now. They both have losing records, whereas in the West, you have Golden State and the Lakers in those spots. And I do think for the greater good of the game, it's outstanding that we can still have the opportunity to have guys that are going to be first ballot Hall of Famers in LeBron James and Anthony Davis and Steph Curry and Klay Thompson still having an opportunity to work their way into the tournament, basically. So there's some validity and positivity to it on that side, and then there's the other side where you go, is this all worth it? So, yeah, I see where you're coming from. And the one thing that I have noticed, though, from this now is the fact that people are a little more competitive down the stretch because there's a little more to play for more people. There's 10 teams in the West that have a ton to play for. There's 10 teams, maybe 11, 12. If you look at the Nets and the Raptors, mathematically it's going to be difficult for either to get there. So there aren't a lot of teams that have completely shut it down. And I can think back to my years where it was just 16 of the 30 making it. And you'd have that many more shutting it down. And the games down the stretch, in terms of the entertainment value for fans, was disappointing. So I do think that we're getting per night more quality games than we've gotten in the past.
What are some of the key pieces that you feel the Raptors need to do off season to make themselves a contender again next season?
Well, I think that, there's no doubt in terms of depth, in terms of really improving the second unit, in terms of shooting, just a little bit more size. You could see when the Raptors haven't had Jakob Poeltl, they've really struggled defending in the lane. I'm in Denver today, and obviously the Raptors have to play that guy, Mr. Jokic, tonight. And, he's a pretty good player.
Yeah, yes.
And, so I feel for a guy like Kelly Olynyk, who's a good player. It's a lot of pressure on him. And, you go to your bench and you don't have a lot of size. So, to me, I think, adding a little bit more size, shooting, maybe a little bit more, another backup point guard type. So that, there's a lot of areas that they're going to look. But I do think they have some good pieces in place. I think
I do too.
You have starters in Scotty Barnes, R.J. Barrett, Emmanuel Quickly. Those guys are starters. And I think Poeltl obviously is a starting five. So the question is going to be what do you do with Gary Trent Jr.? Do you bring him back? Do you move on after the year? Does he decide to move on? Who knows? But I do think that will be a big part in terms of is he their starting two guard next year, or does he go somewhere else? And how do they replace that? And again, continuing to improve the bench and look at a lot of those things. But I think it's just a talent infusion. When you look at your roster, you always want to look and say, okay, do I feel pretty comfortable with my top 10 guys in particular? And I think that's going to be the thing with, and they're going to have some options this offseason to really have a chance to dig into that and improve it.
Yeah, no, I like you said, they're missing that big man, the center, and that's one of the things I said they have been missing before. So I like that they brought him in, but now he's injured. There's nobody else behind him. And I'm hoping that Grady Dick can establish himself as the three-point shooter again, too. But so, yeah, like you said, you're in Denver tonight. I'm curious, who do you feel are the teams to watch in the NBA playoffs? Will the Nuggets repeat as the champion?
Well, they're awfully good. They're
Sure.
definitely, I would say right now, with the eye test, the numbers test, whatever test you want to have, I would say that probably the two teams that jump off the page more than anything else would be the Nuggets and the Celtics as the top two teams in each conference. And then, in the West, you got Oklahoma City, who's having a great year, Minnesota. Unfortunately, they got some significant injury now with the Karl Anthony Towns. And then, and then, of course, the Clippers, who are very, very good. I don't know if the Phoenix Suns are going to – they've had injuries all year. They can always be dangerous. We talked about the Lakers and the Warriors already. You never count championship caliber teams out. And in the East, again, there's injuries. You know, the Knicks looked like that they were going to really get rolling, and they were, and then they've been beset by tons of injuries. Cleveland now has a lot of guys out. Philadelphia has Embiid out.
That was a big loss.
And then Indiana loses Matherin for the year. So there's a lot of things that keep changing and evolving. So I think right now, when healthy, I would say the Nuggets and Celtics. But there's a lot of teams that I mentioned that are real good. But at this point in time, it's been so hard to pin down because there's so many injuries.
I think Miami can get hot too at a point of the season.
Yeah. That's a good. You're right. They got Jimmy Butler, and
they're hot.
If they're healthy, they're super dangerous. I was looking at that. Their team, and obviously they haven't had Tyler Hero. He's been in and out of the lineup. But if you're right, if they get healthy down the stretch here, you don't want to play them.
No.
Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo are a great 1-2 combo. Eric Spoelstra is a phenomenal coach. They've been there, done that, and they know how to win big games. So it's a good point. It'll be an interesting team to watch.
He needs a championship. That's what he needs.
Easier said than done.
Yeah, hard work pays off. Go ahead, John.
Yeah, I was going to say, Jack, I know you're a huge college basketball fan too. You announce a lot of the games too. So I was curious, with the selection next week there in the March Madness upon us once again, who do you see as some of the favorites to win this year? Houston, UConn, Duke, UNC?
I would say two of them that you just mentioned, have been consistently good all year. That's Houston. And Snead's a great player, obviously. Connecticut, they return some good players. And Danny Hurley's done a great job there. So they have a legitimate chance again. And then Purdue, we'll see. I mean, they'll be a number one seed. And obviously a Canadian, Zach Edey, who's been NCAA Player of the Year back-to-back years, deservedly so. He's been dominant. How much support he gets around him, that'll be critical. So I would say those would be three of them. And, then there's so many others. Marquette has health. They're banged up right now. Obviously Carolina, Duke, Kansas. Again, a lot's going to come down to health. But I would say definitely Connecticut, Houston, and Purdue have been, consistently really good this year. So going into it, but as we know, I could say everything. You could say anything you want. It doesn't matter until Selection Sunday, this Sunday, and then you can start figuring out who really legitimately has a chance, because a lot of it comes down to matchups and where the games are played and all that. And there's so many variables that happen in the NCAA tournament that make it a really interesting and fun thing. And I'm looking forward to doing that starting next Thursday at TSN. We'll have wall-to-wall coverage of it.
I'll be watching that for sure.
Are you going to be announcing any of the Madness games or not this one?
I'll be working the studio like I've been doing for many years. I'll be in studio working next Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, doing the NCAA tournament. So it's always a fun time of year. Always enjoyed it.
For sure. We got about a minute left. I actually have two requests. Jack, it was my 24th birthday a few days ago. And if you don't mind wishing me a happy birthday, Joe Sports Channel, I would love that. That would make my day.
Happy birthday, Joe Sports Channel, the big 2-4. Joe, you got a long way to go, man. But 24 is a good number. Here's the 24 more. Here's the 240 more.
I appreciate it. Buddy. I appreciate it, my friend. And my next thing I want to ask you for, if it's possible, if I can get a picture signed and sent to me in the mail, I would love to have that put on my wall. The broadcasters that I've been interviewing the last few years, if it's possible.
Yeah, just text me your address,
Yeah.
and I'm traveling right now, but I don't have access to one right now.
Yeah.
But I'll get it to you.
Thank you very much, Jack. I really appreciate, once again, you taking the time out of your schedule to come on the Joe Sports Channel. I've learned a lot of knowledge over the years listening to your beautiful "Get That Garbage Out of Here" your voice, and I continue on supporting you, and hopefully to have you back in the near future, and maybe we can meet at the Scotiabank Arena sometime this year. I'm thinking to come down to Toronto sometime, and we can maybe go for dinner, and dinner's on me, I gotta say.
Thanks, guys.
No problem.
Have a great day. All the best.
Take care. Jack Armstrong, play-by-play announcer for the Toronto Raptors.
All right. Thanks, Jack. Appreciate you taking the time.
You got it. You got it, guys. My pleasure. Have a great day.
You too.
Thanks again.
No problem.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Wow. What a lovely guy, I just gotta say. A guy that I truly adore. I don't say that to anyone but my wife, okay? But a guy that I truly adore. You ask him the question and he gives you every single detail, word by word. And he explains it so good that he makes the game of basketball so entertaining. So I think we did a fantastic job. I think you nailed it out of the park. You look pretty excited asking about, the college ball, the March Madness. He's a big March Madness guy. And next Thursday, I like Duke. I think Duke has a very good shot of winning it all this year. Duke's a good team. You got North Carolina. There's a lot of good basketball teams to see in the March Madness, It's the month of March, Any given Sunday, any given March day, a March Madness can happen and win a championship. Yeah, wow, good for Jack.
Yeah, those familiar teams, like you said, UConn and Duke and Kentucky. But like you said, Houston, I know last year, Purdue and Tennessee are also in the top rankings, but they bowed out early. So it'll be interesting to see if they take that next step. Houston also was in the mix last year, and then they kind of dropped out in the early round. So some surprise upsets last year. And like Jack said, it depends on the matchup they're going to get. So, but that's what makes the madness so exciting, because it's crazy. These top seed teams losing to lower seed teams. So that's the craziness and the fun of the tournament. So yeah, super excited for their selection next Sunday, and of course the March Madness begins next week.
Man, before we end the show, we got about 3 minutes. I want to go to 30 minutes. I just want to thank, the good Lord for always having my back, and my family, my mom, my wife, my friends, my colleagues, everyone out there. But there's one man specifically, and I truly love this guy. And I went to Vancouver, British Columbia, and saw him in November and stayed at his house. And his name is Tino D'Antonio. And later on today at 1:30 Pacific, Tino will be going down to Vancouver Hospital for an operation. I just want to take this moment. You can say a prayer after this, but I'll say a prayer, and then you can say a prayer. I want to send this to Tino because Tino means everything to me, and I love the guy. Dear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, may Allah have Tino and have his back and his surgery be success and come out stronger than ever before. No harm, no damage, and always keep himself happy. Love you, Tino. You got it, my friend. Ameen. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله. Good luck, Tino. You got this, my friend. If you want to say a prayer now, too.
I don't know who Tino is. He was Joe's co-host for a lot of the years, so I feel like I'm filling in. Tino's been the main man, but I appreciate the opportunity to be the co-host. But Tino, again, we'll have him on the website soon. You can see him there. But Tino's been a big part of Joe's journey and being a co-host here on the Joe Sports Channel.
I mean, thank you so much. Anything else, John?
Yeah, no, like I said, we're sending prayers. I did already this morning, keeping Tino in her prayers. He said he has surgery today or tomorrow out in Vancouver, BC. So, Tino, if you're listening, we've got you in our prayers. We're hoping you come through this, successfully. And again, that you can return to the spotlight here with us. We'd love to have you back on the show when you're healthy again.
Sure. Nothing, there's nothing better than one Syrian and two Italians on the Joe Sports Channel. It's right. Like saying pineapple's not good on pizza. Pineapple's good on pizza when you have two Italians and a Syrian on the Joe Sports Channel. John, it's always a privilege Have a wonderful rest of your day. Stay safe. Say to your wife and kids, and we'll talk later tonight.
Awesome, Joe. Appreciate the opportunity. Love talking with Jack and being with you here.
No problem. Joe Sports Channel. Take care, guys.